Hey, it's your boy Raincord Malone. We're gonna do an episode of the thing I'm gonna now call Deep Pulls. Because who knows what we'll pull, and who knows how deep we'll get with the conversation. I am here at my friend Joey's store, Stomping Grounds Game Center in Gainesville, Florida. It's a great store. Love it. We're here late, so it's a little messy, so we're not going to show you the store. But all your Magic needs, all your retro gaming needs, and fun stuff. And so we're going to open 4 packs today. 2 packs of Zendikar Rising, because I want a very specific uncommon for no reason at all. And then 2 more packs of Time Spiral. And we'll try to tell as many stories as we can and talk about references and just look at the cards. How about that? Okay, so we are here on this Zendikar Rising. We got an Angel Heart Protector, one of the fun... no, this is not a party card. It doesn't have the party mechanic, but it does give Indestructible. It is a Cleric, which matters in party. We've got Synchronized Spellcraft, a card that does care about party. Party being Clerics, Rogues, Wizards, and Warriors. We'll see how that plays out when the new Dungeons & Dragons set comes out. We got the return of Kicker. Kicker came back for Zendikar Rising. Kicker's been all over the place. And really, when you think about it, every mechanic's Kicker. Farsight Adept. They are testing out white card draw on stuff like this, so we'll see how this goes going forward. As we are recording, they have just promised in Strixhaven that there will be a white card that says draw 3 cards on it. Who knows what that'll say. More Kicker, this time on a gloomy, ghastly Gloom Hunter. A lot of gloom in there. We've got this Dauntless Survivor. This is a card they've printed a zillion times, and originally was in Ursa's Destiny, I think, is Iron Shell Beetle, which is just an insect, and they keep making this a little better. They've made it a 1/2 before. This one's a warrior, so it's got the tribal synergy, so that's pretty cool. Nahiri's Binding, again, another version. This time it's a version of Arrest. Arrest was originally in Mercadian Mass. 2 and a white for a aura that just stopped a creature from doing anything. And this is another kind of can't do anything for a permanent. Like this time you can hit creatures or planeswalkers, but you got to pay a little bit more on the white mana. We've got a Landfall Defender here. Pretty not great, let's be honest here. Like, even if this were a 3/2, it would be like, whatever. We've got Tuk Tuk Rebel Fort, which, if I understand correctly, is like weirdly a wall deck. I feel like this is like a card, because it's like a 3 mana, gives all your creatures haste, so I think it either matters in like a Pauper Walls deck or like in one of those Birthing Pod chain up decks, so I don't know, that's interesting. We've got a Glacial Grasp, another version of this effect that they're doing a lot, tapping a creature, it can't untap. This one mills too as well, so it plays into that theme. Relic Vial, one of the, each color got a relic, each of the 4 major tribes got a relic artifact. This one is the Cleric one. We got a Cinderclasm, again, one of the cool variations there with Pyroclasm-like effects. This one of Kicker. We've got here a Bala God Recovery, a regrow for an extra mana, but it's also got a land on the back. Have we had any other land on the back ones? No, we haven't. Look at that. We actually got a pretty decent card here, I think, right? You're the story
Yeah, that's
guy.
okay. Yeah, no.
A little bit. Landfall gets extra attacks. This get an extra combat phase. First on Relentless Assault Envisions, a 2 red sorcery that I think was also reprinted in 8th edition and then like a zillion times afterwards. We didn't see the card I was looking for, which was a Fireblade Charger. Really cool island. I like all of the Zendikar lands by this artist, whose first name I'm not going to try to pronounce, but it ends in an X, and that's cool.
Yeah, that's also what I was looking for.
And then look, a thing that tells us stuff. So we'll do another Zendikar Rising real quick. And then Time Spiral, double Time Spiral. Okay. Tormenting Voice, another card that's been printed a bunch. And this is the basic version, additional cost to discard. Just cast to cast, discard a card, then you draw 2. Don't remember the first set this was in. I know this was in one of the Dragon. I think this was like...
I believe it was an Innistrad, right?
Was it Innistrad?
There's
yeah,
Innistrad in one of the cons blocks as well.
Yeah. We've got a Shell Shield, This gives something +0/+3, and then kicker. It's funny. This is a card that basically becomes a dive down if you pay the kicker. But dive down was actually good in mono blue tempo, and paying twice as much isn't. We've got Practice Tactics, another party payoff card. You just get to hit attacking or blocking creatures with this one. Pyrostatic, Hellion, 4/5 deals 2. I don't know, whenever I see this card, I always think there was one in Ravnica Allegiance that was like a 4/4, but it had Trample in this ability instead of a 4/5, so that's kind of cool. We've got one of our special Showcase cards. Showcase in this set was only on landfall stuff. So this is landfall 1/3. You gain a life when land enters the battlefield. There was Jahari Offshoot, I think, which was an original Zendikar. I think it was just like an 0/3 defender, but also had this ability, but for a single green. That was kind of popular. We've got a Dranu Silencer, another really cool, interesting party card where you get the kind of party payoff. At its base level, it's just a -1/-1. Roblefort, again, we talked about it. Maybe one of you at home knows which deck this might actually be good in. We've got the Makindi Ox, another landfall thing, but not with like a plus trigger. It's just got a tap thing, but that's kind of cool. We saw Glacial Grasp already. We've got a Rock Slide Sorcerer. This set, they did a lot of Wizards and Instants and Sorceries cards, so this is kind of a payoff for that. We've got Journey to Oblivion. Another of this kind of Oblivion Ring. You can even see Oblivion in the name there. This sort of Oblivion Ring effect, which was Oblivion Ring first in Lorwyn, and this one gets the party payoff. We've got a Veteran Adventurer. One of a few cards. I think there were 3. There was, I think... Or no, sorry. Was there 3 or 4? I know there was a... This one has all of the types listed here. There was a rare version, Tajari Preserver, I think, that had kicker. There was also the artifact version, the Stone Pack Beast. So that's a version of this. We actually got a kind of cool... is this the showcase frame as well, or is this the alternate?
It's the extended art.
Extended art, that's what it is. They've done so many things. A card I actually kind of need, so now I don't have to buy it from you, Joey.
Well, I mean, you did buy it from me by the pack.
Yeah. River Glide Pathway, Lava Glide Pathway, so this is the Izzet one. This one's going to go into Izzet and Soul for Pioneer, which is a deck that's not really that good. And then we've got a foil, another kind of party payoff.
Foil rare.
Foil rare, yeah. Not too bad. It could have been a better one, but it's still not too bad. Yeah. Get a lot of little core warriors. Okay. So, that was the boring stuff. Still didn't get a Fireblade Charger, by the way, but...
All right, I'm going to tell you we're almost halfway through, so...
Okay, well, I'll try to speed up a little bit here. Okay, so let's get
especially because you got more cards.
Yeah, Time Spiral Remastered. Some of these we talked about in the last video, but again, Veiling Oddity. Yeah, don't unsuspend this on your opponent's turn, because it makes sure their stuff can't block with cards like Clock Spinning, so don't do that. Bone Splitter Sliver. I did remember a little fact about this. I talked about how this was like a late reference in terms of Time Spiral. There was one other Mirrodin card that's referenced on Time Spiral, which is Raise the Alarm, which was on Acacian Crier, which is not in Time Spiral Remastered, but just in case you're curious. Reality Acid, really fun card with Blink Shenanigans. At first it looks like just kind of a weird combat, like a weird destroy a permanent thing, but if you can blink it, you get their stuff off right away, you get to kill it, you get to put it back. So a nice little synergy card for that archetype. Utopia Vow, a green pacifism, but lets their stuff tap. You'd see more stuff like this eventually, like Lignify, really popular eventually. We talked about this bad boy. It's the Rebel Flying Haste with Echo Discard a card. We've got an 05 Defender, but it has got the Thallid ability, so that's a cool thing. The Thalids were First and Fallen Empires. Gathan Raiders, actually, a card I like for my cube. Basically a colorless 3/3 in that format, sometimes a colorless 5/5. And they definitely play well in multiples because you'll just start discarding to each of them, and then you'll just be hellbent, as it were.
Is there a mechanic for the discard outlet?
Yes. Madness is the payoff for the discard outlet. Also, this is another one of the original Future Sight double keyword. They put Morph and Hellbent together, which, somehow worked out. We've got Limp Sliver. Absorb is only on this card, one of the Future Sight. We're going to test out a keyword cards. Played really well in that format, I thought. I really liked Mardu Slivers in that draft format. Knight of Serosi, Flying, Flanking, Suspend. Again, all of these Suspend 1-drops are really cool. I don't think there was actually a flying flanking creature originally in Mirage ever, which makes that kind of weird. We've got the Shadow thing, Infiltrator Ilkor, Shadow, Suspend 2, again, another really just, all these were pretty good. Gaia's Anthem, interestingly enough, a card that was downshifted already, originally a rare in Planar Chaos as a color-shifted version of Glorious Anthem, but now it's just a green card and uncommon. They've never brought down the white one, which I would prefer a lot. In fact, Glorious Anthem is rare in M21 right now in this standard. We've got Sulfur Elemental, Split Second, but really actually was popular some tournament formats because of its way to kill small white creatures. Just, you can't do anything about it because of Split Second. Primal Force Mage. Looks like a weird ability, but all the suspend stuff has haste built in as part of unsuspending. So if you have this in play and something comes off suspend, it's huge immediately, goes in attacks. Also has some synergy with the blink stuff as well, especially on defense. We've got the Ith High Arcanist, the mastermind of the Maze of Ith, which was from the Dark. And it basically has Maze of Ith's ability just on a big creature with suspend as well. And then I saw this already, but it is a Knight of the Reliquary, originally from the middle Shard set. Conflux, I think. Yeah, fun cube card, fun just everything card. So glad we got that. And then here's that 2/4 Reach Spider, talking about before that goes with the Penumbra Spider.
I like the new art on the old border.
Yes, I agree. Sting Scourger. In Planar Chaos, they gave red bounce, but only for your opponent's creature, so like offensive bounce. So they put it on kind of a cool creature, but the echo is really hard, so you can't really cast this on turn 2. But Goblin Synergy. Tellurian Sentinel. The spell it casts is called Rescue, which was originally from Urza's Destiny, which makes sense because Tellurian Sentinel is supposed to be kind of outside of the Academy, where a bunch of bad stuff happened to the Academy, Tellurian Academy in Urza's block. Time bubbles and crazy stuff and Phyrexians. Mog War Marshal. This is a version of Mog... I always forget. It's like Goblin Marshal. It's like Goblin Marshal, which was a much bigger version of this in Urza's Destiny. It was a 3/3 for 6 with Echo, and it made 2 1/1s, I think, each way. Kind of a bulk card, but this is actually a pretty cool card, and gets played because of how many bodies it can produce. Green Seeker casts Lay of the Land, spell from Apocalypse. Pit Keeper, a creature that has the pit... Oh, gosh. Overgrown... Oh, boy. It's like Onslaught. It's like a 4... It's like a 1 and a black enchantment, and if you have Overgrown Cemetery. That's what Pit Keeper does. And even its flavor text talks about the cemetery being overgrown or something like that. Yeah, or evicted from the pits. Anyway. Double keyword ability. Death Touch was actually not a keyword until Future Sight because they had done Death Touch so many weird ways. They did it on combat damage, they did it on blocking, they did it with regeneration, with that was really weird.
Think of Basilisk, it destroys it.
Yeah. Children of Corliss. God, I don't even remember what this really references. And I feel like I'm losing steam. We're going so long.
That's all right. You're good.
White Mane Lion. I've got a fun story about this I'll tell one day about how I should have gone to a Pro Tour because of this card and then didn't, but that's okay. Don't count it as a creature. Count it as a spell if you're building. Aaron Ephemeron, again, these suspend cards are so sweet. Just cast them for 2, you get it a few turns later, and just, it's awesome. A weird card, because this art's super weird. This was in the Future Sight full-bodied art before. What I guess now the kids would call borderless.
Yeah.
And then this art isn't even the same art, it's just weird art. I don't even know what this art's from. But I don't like it. Too much negative space. Might of Old Crosia. Still a big card in Infect in Modern, but you know, who plays that anymore because you know, we're in a pandemic. See the Mask. And yeah, really popular, just +4/+4 for 1 green mana.
That's a very Joey played his cards out of sequence card.
Yes. We've got a Riftwing Cloudskate, another really cool suspend card. Trying to think if this really referenced anything in terms of... Cloudskate was like a 2/2 flyer from Nemesis that had fading. But yeah, I'm not sure there. Molten Slag Heap. These cards were actually pretty popular in the in the Dragonstorm deck. The red ones in that standard format. But if you put a Face Fetters on it, they can't use the ability that takes the counters off because it's not a mana ability.
Mm.
Huh.
All right, you gotta wrap it up.
Well, Wheel of Fate. Hey, all these cards are really popular. Wheel of Fortune-like cards. And then look, a Stinkweed Imp. We already got one of those, so now we got two of them. Oh my gosh. Buddy. And then this card, made by the Cloud Seeker in Future Sight. Thank you so much for your time.